Here's to the finest crew in Starfleet.
Mr. McCoy, Mr. Scott, you heard it?
Jim. Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise.
Welcome to Greatest Trek, This Old Enterprise. It's a new Star Trek podcast. It's about original series Star Trek episodes until the new Star Trek episodes come back. I'm Adam Pranica.
I'm Ben Harrison. I thought the nudity would be in the episode that we were recording today.
Yeah?
You know, it's called The Naked Time.
Uh-huh.
Turned out it was right before the recording. You're asking me for Amazon links. I'm going back through my old orders looking at jock straps and all these hunks that they hired to model these jock straps. Women don't have to go through this, you know, when you buy underwear, you have to look at an unobtainable body type. But when we buy underwear, look at this guy. Is that an 8-pack?
I mean, we've said it for years. Greatest Gen and Greatest Trek, the Uxbridge family of shows. At its core, a men's health program. Before we hit record, I had some very innocent questions for you about your vasectomy experience, as I am going to be facing my own here coming up.
You know what? I've got some great vasectomy news, by the way.
Yeah?
Yesterday, I dropped off my final sample clean. I am infertile. I can discontinue other forms of prophylaxis.
Did they offer you the mail-in order bust cup option that they gave me, complete with the logo of the sperm whale on the box? Was that your option? Because I was delighted by the logo on the box.
Man, no, it wasn't to mail in. They were like, drive it over to our office within 1 hour of collecting your sample, sir.
What kind of doctors are you seeing? This is such a crazy trend. Why do you have to do this, Ben? I full on went to my urologist appointment expecting to be made to bust right then and there.
Yeah.
Like for the pre-bust.
Yeah.
Pre-bust and then post-bust to test whether or not you got swimmers. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, we're going to give you a box with the sperm whale picture on it, and you're going to bust it home when it's done. We don't even want a pre-bust.
When they handed you the box, were they like, get it?
It was a totally joyless experience.
Yeah.
Like the whole interaction.
The paperwork that they make you fill out is pretty funny because it's clear that some people have not known what they were signing up for in the past.
Yeah.
That was, for me, the most remarkable part of this entire interaction. But yeah, they just test it right there in the office. I didn't have to mail anything.
Wouldn't you have rather busted into a box and then mailed that box in?
Yes, because there is the part where you hand it to the nice lady at the front desk and she's like, "This is cum," and you're like, "Yes, it's a bag with cum in it."
At my urology appointment, I had a conversation with the nurse, and Shanice went over page by page what all the instructions were and looked me dead in the eyes and put her finger on a section on the third page that was bolded and highlighted. And this section of the page says, "You must shave your testicles entirely." For this procedure to proceed. Uh-huh. And she looked at me and she said, "Adam, if you don't do it completely and correctly, I will have to do it for you. And I do not want to do that for you. You do not want me to do that for you.
Yeah.
So take this part of the form very seriously."
Yeah.
I've never been talked to by a medical professional as seriously as this one. And I've been very sick on occasion.
I know. Like, there's something about going to a doctor. I mean, maybe your experience differs. But
I know it differs. I promise you it differs.
Sometimes you want them to be unequivocal with you about a thing. Like, should I do X procedure or should I do Y cleanse? Or should I take this seriously? Should I go see a specialist or whatever? And a lot of the time, like, they are not really in a position, like, I think from a covering their ass standpoint, to be unequivocal. So, like, getting the business from a medical professional like that sounds almost refreshing.
All of the nurses that I've interacted with since moving to LA have been 10 out of 10 straight shooters.
Yeah.
I fucking love them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. This one maybe especially.
Yeah.
I was like, I promise you, I will be so thorough, it will shock you.
Were you like, not to brag, but my podcast has gotten a Manscaped sponsorship once or twice.
Yeah, you know, I think you'll be pretty impressed. I mean, not for the other reason. Definitely not impressed about that. But just like the grooming you're saying is required for this procedure.
You know, this thing has a ceramic blade, and this is the like 4.0 version of the product. So they've really refined it quite a bit.
It has been a long time since they've been a sponsor of our show.
It is. Yeah.
Maybe this is the Marin that will bring them on back. What are we talking about? We don't have ads on this show.
Yeah, that never happens. But good luck with your procedure, man.
Thank you for the advice you gave me on Mike before.
Oh yeah.
It was nice to hear from someone who'd gone through it, and I don't know, man. You're a good friend for being so honest about so many of the factors. For
anyone out there considering it or on the verge of it, if that happens to be you, get a jockstrap. Like the extra support really helped me in the recovery. It's like, it's not a terrible recovery, but it's like, you know what it is like, if you've ever like gotten kicked in the nuts or like accidentally like, you know, caught a baseball down there, like, you know, the pain is so acute. And even if it's not acute, pain in that region feels like it could be acute at any moment. So it fucks with you on a psychological level more than anything.
I don't know how I know this, but like, I know this. It's deeply ingrained in my birdie in my brain. It's worse than childbirth, like what's coming, right?
Oh, yeah.
I got one thing I want to do with you, Ben, before we pitch a show, and that is, I know a lot of FODs out there have got a picture in their mind about what color jockstrap you would have chosen, and I would have chosen for this experience. And I figure, like, maybe we could just count down 3, 2, 1 and just say what color we chose so that we can just, like, erase the mystery. There are some real horn dogs out there.
They want a picture.
Yeah, they want a picture. So let's give this gift to them, okay?
They're getting a marker out and they're going to whichever former tour poster of ours they particularly enjoy, given which one of us is more nude on that poster. And they're getting ready to color in the jock area. So which, are you going to go first? Or
Let's go at the same time.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
A
Read.
crew. Fuck! I did it again.
Oh, that's fun, Ben. Let's get into the episode today. All right? Can we do that?
If you thought the episode was horny up until this point, buckle up. It's season 1, episode 5 of Star Trek, the original series, The Naked Time.
NTC 1701. No bloody A, B, C, or D.
Scotty, ceasefire!
Ben, you can probably hear it in my voice. I've been sick for like over a week.
Yeah.
And not with a horny sickness either.
No.
Not horny.
It's been a rough month or so for Uxbridge Shimoda. You really caught it right after I caught it. We couldn't get our sickness synced up in a way that would have been very helpful.
That's how you know we haven't been hanging out enough together, is when we're not in sync on the illnesses.
Too bad. Speaking of illness, the Enterprise is orbiting a planet called Psi 2000, and this is a real dump.
It's an ice planet. It's a K-pop planet.
It's a frozen wasteland that's about to rip itself apart, and I guess the Federation has had some scientists out here studying this world, and we're gonna pick them up, Uber them home, but not before we take some high-res scans of what it's like when a planet collapses. And so Spock beams down with another guy, and this dude's name is Tormolen. And they're in these very jazzy hazmat suits.
I wasn't going to say that. Lieutenant Joe is what he is in my notes and in my mind. Forever and ever.
For some reason, it went to all caps when I put Tormolen, and then every time I wrote Tormolen after that, it auto-corrected to all caps Tormolen.
That reminds me of how my phone stores the name of my friend Jace, which is also in all caps. Has been for 20 years, to the extent that I told another buddy of mine that was his legal spelling of his name, that it was all caps and could only be all caps. And this was believed.
Is that E. Cummings that never capitalized anything? He's like the opposite of that guy.
He's opposite Jace. Yeah.
Jace, proprietor of the excellent Fried Egg I'm in Love restaurant in Portland, Oregon. Go patronize. You'll be delighted.
Give that guy a plug.
Yeah.
Nice job by you. I missed an opportunity there. What a terrible friend.
Well, somebody missed an opportunity to de-ice the freezer that is this facility, because when Spock and Tormolen beam down, everything is densely frosted over.
You know what this smells like looking at it, because you know what a freezer smells like when it's covered in this kind of ice.
Yeah, like if you took like a silicone ice tray in there for like 5 minutes, it's fucking ruined.
Yeah. Spock and Lieutenant Joe are dressed like the blankets that you put inside elevators when people move in and out of an apartment building, right?
Yeah, these are very cool hazmat suits. I wondered if like this has got to be like off the rack fabric that they just found somewhere, right?
Absolutely. It looks like Spock's mom and Lieutenant Joe's mom put these together for them. Pretty nice.
It really does. Yeah. They're scanning around quite a bit. They find there's like one dude that's like slumped over a desk. There's another lady who's they determined has been strangled. We don't see the rest of the bodies, but old Joe Tormolen comes back and describes a guy who was frozen solid, taking a shower in his clothes. The lady was strangled. Just like a lot of unfortunate deaths, but everybody is frozen now, and all of the climate control stuff is completely shut down.
They're working like both independently and together. Like they'll go off on their own to do their scans and searches, and then they'll come back together to report on what they found. And when we're with Lieutenant Joe on his own, he takes off his glove and like absentmindedly wipes his nose. And he's being a little casual with the things he touches, just generally, right? Like some crud gets on his hand, and you know he's got to smell it.
Yeah.
Smell that crud, Joe.
I love the like old-timey TV effect of like, let's just turn the camera on its side and have the drip go up a little bit.
Yeah, that's big fun.
It's like Batman walking up the side of a building that's really just, something that they laid down on the floor, right?
This is Batman blood.
I've been watching these episodes with the subs on, especially to get like the spelling on something like Tormolen.
You have to.
For some reason, the subtitle "Be certain we expose ourselves to nothing" comes up way before Spock actually says it, and it's like on screen, like as Joe is exposing himself to the Batman blood. Also, I don't know if you had this experience, but the aspect ratio was perfectly square for me.
Oh.
I was like, is this happening on all of the original series episodes? And I like looked at the other ones and they were regular 4:3, but this one was a square format for some reason.
How weird.
Yeah.
How were you watching it?
I have
through the great Paramount Plus app?
I have like the Paramount Plus side loaded into my Apple TV Plus app, so I don't have to use their interface. But yeah, weird effects. Like I think it was cutting off the sides. So
there's a real kind of like rattlesnake sound that happens when anyone on this show has an interaction with this virus.
Yeah. I seem to remember in The Naked Now, the TNG episode that is the same exact plot as this, being a little bit more of like a hiss, like a psst.
Oh, yeah. You know what it definitely isn't? Is piss.
Unfortunately not.
What if that was the sound?
Anyways, what a shame. That is the dun-dun-dun that starts our cold open. And we get back from theme, and we learn that now that they've determined that everybody is dead on the planet, they're just going to stick around and get their scans while the planet falls apart. And interestingly, the away team beams up and is subject to some like decon rays in the transporter. This is something that is described as being like a kind of concurrent process in TNG, but in TOS era, it seems like you beam up and then they do the decontamination process.
Yeah.
And they make a big deal out of this. Like, we're like, whatever it was that killed those people down there, we're not taking any chances bringing it back onto the ship. I mean, JOE TORMOLEN certainly didn't like wipe his nose with an ungloved hand at any point, did he?
I mean, this was a time back in like the 60s where your decontamination didn't have any concern for lubrication.
Yeah.
I mean, this is very dry decontamination when you see it happening.
We see no nuck.
No.
We see no butt.
No.
Fuck.
It doesn't look like it feels good at all for anyone.
I guess you could say we do see some nuck later in Sickbay when they're on that swinging bed, because they do get sent to the dispensary.
I like this. I like that they don't just take decontamination for granted. They do double decontamination.
Yeah. And there's something very funny to me about there being just a guy there to work the bed. Like they didn't try and fake that this bed would automatically swivel on its axis. Like one guy gets up, Spock gets on, and the guy just like lowers the bed down with his hands.
What I love is the diegetic sound of a man's body sliding on this leather or vinyl biobed as it tilts forward. Like there is a pronounced fart sound that happens when a body slides on this kind of material. And you get it several times this episode.
You're fine, Joe. Up and out of there. Captain?
How are they?
They're fine, Joe.
I loved hearing Spock brag about the size of his hog to Bones.
Yeah.
I didn't know this about Vulcan hogs, but I believe it.
Sure. I mean, it was even referenced in Strange New Worlds this year.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Uh-oh, Ben. Lieutenant Joe's looking pretty itchy. I mean, McCoy said they were both A-okay, but, like, what's up with the itches?
Keep rubbing his old arm. What's that about?
You're not supposed to scratch, Lieutenant Joe.
Nurse Chapel comes in. Nice to see her. She doesn't have a lot to do with this in this scene, but spends a lot of time in this episode. So I guess this is just like the introductory moment for her. It's been so long since we've seen this actor on the show.
I know. You almost forget she's there because Lieutenant Joe is absolutely eating the scenery with his portrayal of man who isn't sure they're supposed to be in space. Like, he's haunted by what he's seen on the surface, and he's acting like the sort of guy that wants some additional time off after a work trip. Like, I was down there, man, and you weren't. You have no idea what this work trip was like. I'm going to need a few days before I go back out on duty.
Yeah. We get a McLaughlin group.
Issue 1.
Where we're looking at tapes from the planet to try and get a sense of like why all of these people died.
How disappointing were these tapes? Were you expecting a different camera angle than the one main camera angle that we saw in the cold open? I kind of was.
What the hell am I looking at?
Yeah, but that would be a whole different setup, Adam.
I know. Yeah, there's just no time.
They're talking about, this is puzzling, right? Because everybody was acting irrationally. They were doing things that no one would do, like take a shower in clothes. But they can't find any, like, pathogen or toxic element. Spock speculates that maybe this is some type of space madness that has yet to be described by science, which I really like space madness as a terminology that we're just going to all take very seriously. That's a real thing.
I mean, it's a very Ren and Stimpy style description, isn't it?
That's exactly where my head went. Like, where else is that ever talked about but Ren and Stimpy.
They say sometimes people go crazy on these long trips. They get the space madness.
There's a moment here, this interaction between Spock and Scotty, that I think almost breaks Star Trek as a concept. And it goes by so quickly that I think you might miss how significant it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because the conversation between them goes something like, yeah, the sensors and the tricorders didn't pick up anything weird, but those things are only programmed to pick up what it knows. And given the vastness and infinite nature of space, those things don't know most things.
Yeah.
And what isn't said, the subtext for me was like, why even use them?
It makes me think of that time that Data said, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
You got to come from a place of humility when you're going out into the cosmos. And that's kind of what Tormolen is arguing for as he descends into his state.
Who are you? I'm the captain. I'm Captain Kirk. I'm the captain.
Kirk proposes this question, which is like, okay, like we're doing this big mission, like we're going to be in a tight orbit of this planet as it falls apart, and that's going to be a little bit dangerous. What are the chances that we are at risk of whatever happened to those people also happening to us? And nobody really, like, it's like talking to a medical provider. There's like a ton of equivocation and like, I can't actually tell you what I would do in this scenario.
Yeah, Spock is like, all we can really do is shave the testicles completely. I mean, that's what the instructions say to do. I certainly don't want the nurse to do it for us.
And Kirk is like, you're saying I need to be man-scaped.
Elsewhere in the mess hall, Lieutenant Joe is getting a meal from the window and contemplates his own itchiness after he sits. In walks Sulu and Lieutenant Kevin Riley talking about fencing. It's the sort of conversation, Ben, that like some people are just interested in bizarre things in a way that they make their entire personality.
Sure.
Like Sulu is fencing. That's what we're supposed to presume from this conversation. It's his whole world.
Yeah. I mean,
two things I love. Plants shaped like fingers around a cylinder and swords.
Old Joey is in some mood, and he starts going off about the hubris, the sheer fucking hubris of Starfleet to go out into the cosmos and poke their nose into shit that isn't their business. And he just does not feel it's man's place. And he's got a butter knife that agrees with him. And old Swords Sulu is suddenly all worried about stabbing implements.
Do you think there's something about future butter knives that make them more dangerous than we could possibly understand? Because when he turns this thing at himself, I'm like, well, that's not going to do anything. What are we talking about here? He's going to damage his uniform.
Yeah, like anybody that's been in a cafeteria knows how little harm can ever come of this particular knife.
You can't cut a chicken breast across the grain with a knife that dull.
Like, why not give him a steak knife? Like, is it insane to think that they might have that in the cafeteria aboard a starship? They have a bowling alley.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Anyways, it's not that he's using this knife to threaten them. He's getting ready to flip it around and butter knife himself because he is so dismayed at having been a party to space exploration, I guess. And Sulu and Riley are on him real quick, trying to disarm him. But in the scuffle, he is able to get that thing into his belly. There's blood everywhere. No visible cut in his shirt. I wasn't quite sure where it went in. Maybe the Starfleet uniform is of such high tensillary strength that it kind of went into him along with the knife.
The color of his blood somehow suggesting that maybe he has taped a bunch of strapped cash to himself and he hit a die pack or something.
I was thinking maybe he's the first crypto Klingon in Star Trek history. Like,
oh, yeah.
There's a long history of people who are serving aboard Federation starships that we find out later are in fact Klingons. Tormolen sounds like it could be a Klingon name, right?
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that name.
You know, and like committing ritual suicide with a butter knife, that seems like a Klingon-ass thing to do.
We know the Klingons' affection for bladed weapons of all kinds. And what is a butter knife than just an extremely dull battler?
So we get a captain's log, and this is another one of these, like, oh, this log is something that he wrote, like, well after the events of the episode, because he knows more than Kirk does at this point in the story. An unknown disease has come aboard, and it's now clear that Lieutenant Riley and Lieutenant Sulu have both been exposed. Spock and Kirk are on the bridge talking about old Joey and what's going on with him. And he is a subject of some concern to them because they are worried about this irrationality behavior and how that seems to mirror whatever went down on Psi 2000.
What do you make of the whole awareness of the disease being on board the ship, but that not stopping anyone from taking the ship closer to the surface of this planet to study its demise, right?
Yeah. So my theory is that the captain's log is like his after-action report in TOS in a way that it really isn't in TNG. I feel weird about it because coming to this show being a TNG head, like I understand the captain's log as sort of like his contemporaneous thoughts about what they're going through, not something where he's looking back on the story. But that seems to be how they're written in this. Either that or he's got like a split personality and like what there's one Captain Kirk that totally knows what's going on, but the Captain Kirk that we're seeing is not aware.
He's Ed Nortoning in Primal Fear. What do you make of, like, if you need to present the symptoms of being sick with the space illness, being itchy as the primary way to convey that? You can't be sweaty in the 60s. Everyone's sweaty.
I mean, this is a particularly sweaty episode. And I think that, like, the lights that they were working with must have been, like, infernally hot on this show.
It's what made the sweatiness of the TNG episode so unusual, you know?
Yeah.
Was like at that moment in time, you didn't get the amount of sweat that you got back here.
I feel like itchy is scarier than they are playing it for in our modern context. Like, if I'm watching Alien Earth and somebody starts itching themselves, I'm like, oh shit, he's got bugs all up in him. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But in this, it's just like, yeah, oh yeah, that guy's really, really rubbing on himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's distracting. The itching is distracting to the people who are itchy.
Yeah.
And Lieutenant Kevin is one of them.
In the dispensary, or I guess we're starting to call it sickbay more and more.
Sickbay.
The way sickbay happened was like sixpence, none the richer, like that whole thing. This is years ago that we came up with this.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that dispensary is also like a pence, as in the band name?
Oh.
Pence, none the richer.
Oh, sure.
Like that's also a part of it.
Dispensary. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on a lot of drugs, Ben.
That much is certain.
Yeah. So they're like finishing up the operation. Nurse Chapel's like a little worried about his breathing, so she throws a respirator on him, and Bones closes the dude up
with a blowtorch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you think that was an unusual choice?
There's like a purple light that's shining on his chest. None of the implements seem to light up, though. Like, they didn't have the budget to put a little LED in an object in this show.
Yeah, it's interesting that you're definitely with Nurse Chapel for this procedure more than you are with the patient or Dr. McCoy. You're down on her level.
The camera is lower so that you're not seeing the hole as the operation proceeds.
Yeah.
Up on the bridge, gravity has really grabbed onto the ship and started to pull them in. And Riley's a little distracted and does not compensate. And Kirk has to wind up going down there and like pushing the button for him and is like, hey man, what the fuck are you doing?
There's this concept of, like, as the planet shrinks, Enterprise can't just stay in one place. Enterprise has got to go, like, deeper to compensate for the shrinking planet.
Yeah, and like I guess while the mass of the planet isn't changing, the like way the gravity is interacting with the ship is, because it's like it's a moving target.
And it takes a lot of manual control to do it. Like that's why this whole like inattention to the helm is such a problem.
You can't drunk drive during a delicate maneuver like this.
We're gonna roll it, okay?
What do you mean, roll it?
Back in sickbay, JOE Tormolen is dying on the slab. We're seeing all those little triangles go lower and lower on the readout, and Bones can't call it. He's like, what the fuck? Like, I did a really good surgery on this guy. Bones has not seemed like a good doctor so far.
No, not at all. He's not a good doctor, and he's also not likable. When do either of those things begin?
I don't know. He's irascible when you and I first meet him in the movies, but he's got a charm.
Yeah, not charming yet.
He seems competent, too, in the movies.
I mean, if anything, you could say he's a little suspicious here.
Was this a retcon? Like, did they, in the movies, were they like, let's like take Bones' character back to the drawing board, make him a little bit more competent and likable?
Yeah, qualities you want in a doctor.
We'll keep the racism, but we'll,
You gotta have the folksy racism. It's the 60s.
RSVP JOE Tormolen. We barely knew him.
What a guy. What an extremely itchy guy.
The planet still contracting, and they call Captain Kirk down to the dispensary to check out the dead body of his crewman. So Sulu and Riley are left on the bridge, and they're chatting about how uncomfortable and sweaty they are. And Sulu's like, hey man, like, once I've got a sweat up, you know what I like to do is get a fucking pump.
Well, that's it. Get it.
Why don't we go down to the gym and work out?
Maybe we could stop by the botany department on the way.
I have something I really want to show you, and it isn't a sword, per se.
This has got all the vibe of like two misbehaving kids in the back of the classroom, and one of them being like the rabble rouser, like, hey, we gotta shoot spitballs at the teacher, and the other kid's like, no way. Like when Sulu takes off, he kind of leaves Lieutenant Kevin to be like, I don't want to be left out of the cool kid's plan.
It also does feel like he is sneaking off the bridge in a way that is designed for Spock specifically not to notice.
Yeah.
So off he goes.
I'm going to go down to the ship's YMCA.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
In Sickbay, we get a chance at redemption for McCoy, but mainly what we get is him being confused about how Lieutenant Joe died. Like, Kirk is there to get some answers, and both personally and professionally, McCoy doesn't have either of those. And Kirk is like, if you're so confused, unconfuse it.
Yeah.
You're the medical professional in charge on this ship. Like, figure it out.
Only reason he died, Jim, is he didn't want to live. He gave up.
That's a supposition, Doctor, not a fact.
All episode now, Kirk has been asking his department heads to answer his questions, and they have given him mealy-mouthed, equivocating answers, and he is fucking pissed at this point.
I feel like a generation of corporate manager figures have watched this episode and made it their favorite. Like, they really get us. It's really hard out there for a manager. Tough to get good help.
Spock, this bag does not contain platinum, silver, or gold. I must find it.
Hi, sir. I'm Captain James C. Kirk.
Kirk unit. Kirk unit.
Stand by the fire.
At this point, like, a banger gets dropped on the ship, and Spock turns around and realizes that Sulu is gone, and doesn't really have time to what the fuck very much. So he gets another guy to take over his station, and Riley starts acting like a real silly goose. Like, you got your different kinds of drunks, right? You got your like mean drunks, you got your sad drunks, you got your fun drunks.
Sure.
And you got your brag about being Irish drunks. And that's the kind of drunk Riley is.
I love the floppy walk of Lieutenant Kevin and the corridor. Like, this is a walk I'll sometimes have in Vegas after a little too much to drink.
Yeah.
Just flopping around.
Yeah.
Waving the arms, rocking the shoulders.
Use the space. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
He floppy walks all the way to 6 Bay, where he learns of the passing of his buddy JOE Tormollen. It does not distract him for too long because he has the hots for Nurse Chapel, and he would like to express that to her by putting his hands all over her face, exposing her to the rattlesnake sound effect that indicates the disease being passed.
When was the last time you touched a face that wasn't your wife or kids? Not a lot of face touching in my life.
Yeah, I mean, like when I'm boarding a plane, I'll give the pilot a little cheek slap, like, "Hey, take good care of us, buddy."
Oh, sure. You got to stroke the pilot's chin, and then slap the flight attendant's butt on the way past.
I mean, that's just good manners. I was leaving a concert at the Hollywood Bowl the other day, and
oh, did you go to Neil Young?
I did go to Neil Young, or leaving. It's always very crowded leaving the Hollywood Bowl, and I felt a tap to like my love handle area.
Ooh,
and
I don't know,
a dude with like long, greasy, like boomer surfer hair. And wraparound sunglasses on at night and like a Hawaiian shirt and cargo shorts. Just go, "Hey man, can I move past you?" "All right, thanks a lot."
Wow. That story went way better than it started.
Yeah, I did not feel comfortable being touched there by a stranger in public, but he was.
Were your arms up for some reason, or did the person get in between arm and love handle?
He got in between arm and love handle, and I
don't like that.
I felt like I wanted to say something to him about it, but he was so charming as he moved past it. I was like, I can't be mad at him.
That's how they get you. Yeah. No, look at you. You're still thinking about that guy. And the way he touched you.
As far as I know, he didn't transmit any kind of space madness to me.
You did not hear the sound of the rattlesnake during.
I didn't. Sulu has heard the sound of the rattlesnake, and he is now running around the ship with a fencing sword.
How ripped and exploded is Sulu?
He fucking looks great. His body is absolute goals.
Everyone's body looks great on this show, which surprised me. Like, we've seen shirtless Shatner on this show. We've seen, I think, a few other random crew people, like in the gym, shirtless. Like, I was expecting, like, 60s beer bodies. That is not what you get here.
No, they look fucking great, and Sulu most especially looks fucking great. On the bridge, they're talking about how Riley and Sulu have now caught irrationality, and security is going to be dispatched to get both of them because at this point they're just free roaming around the ship. I mean, like at this point, I think now what you write into it is like the ship goes on lockdown and everyone shelters in place until you can figure out like where transmission is happening and how.
Yeah.
I guess in the 60s, like that was not a thought technology available to them because I was just like, I mean, obviously it is a spreading pathogen at this point, guys. Like, we're going to have to do something pretty soon.
Medical knowledge in the 60s would still suggest a lock it down strategy, right?
They had like the germ theory of disease, at least. I mean, we don't anymore, but we did then.
But you have way less fun if you lock people down.
You sure do. You know what else is fun is a massive banger getting dropped on the ship and the like fourth string helmsman that is now operating that station going like, yeah, like none of the controls are working and the engine isn't working. And they radio down to Scotty to see what's going on in the engine room. And Scotty isn't in the engine room. Nobody picks up the phone.
That is really annoying.
It's really annoying, and they're like trying to figure out what to do about that when Sulu saunters onto the bridge, swinging his sword around, and they have to like grab him and wrestle him and get him a neck pinch. Is this the first neck pinch?
think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Sulu got the first neck pinch.
Very exciting. I've always heard you run away from a bladed weapon. You don't attempt to fight the person.
Oh, that's good. That's good knowledge. Yeah. Did you run toward a gun? Close the distance?
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always been a men's health and self-defense podcast, primarily.
I mean, I'd say that, like, of the things in the manosphere,
yeah,
we're, like, one of the least toxic because it's a Star Trek podcast, but it's really about men's health and self-defense.
It is. Yeah. Everyone knows that.
Maybe with this type of sword, you go in because it's only dangerous at its end. So if you can close the distance, it's only sharp at that one spot.
Yeah, it's like doubling back when a car is following you and you're on foot, like just going the other way.
Yeah, exactly. So this has been Self-Defense Corner here on Greatest Trek. Captain Riley calls up from the engine room where he explains that he has relieved Scotty and I guess relieved everybody of command. He controls the horizontal and the vertical now. And he's like babbling away and singing Irish pub songs on the 1MC.
His symptoms are described as irrational confidence, which I love. Kind of like when a person takes the right drugs with the right people.
Sure, yeah.
That kind of vibe. That's what Lieutenant Kevin's got.
Kirk is going to head down there and see if he can't put a stop to this, but we are informed by Spock that the type of orbit they are in is decaying at a rate where the ship is going to be destroyed in less than 20 minutes. So the tension is really rising. And we get another illustration of this. Like every time we cut to the view screen, we see planet Psi 2000 spinning closer and closer and faster on screen.
Even worse than the news of the ship slowly spiraling toward its own destruction by splattering itself on the planet is Lieutenant Kevin's one-man show of singing and comedy.
And now, your captain will render an ancient Irish faith.
Please, not again.
That I think is basically the first depiction of a podcast ever.
It is, isn't it?
No one can turn it off.
Imagine if you couldn't turn off a podcast.
It's awful.
It's really rough. Yeah, he's got a lot of thoughts, a lot of suggestions for the female crew members.
And use restraint in putting on your makeup. Women should not look made up.
Yeah, I mean, the rightward turn is something all podcasts eventually do.
It is, yeah.
To remain relevant. So I get it.
To remain relevant and to, like, earn money, specifically.
Which, speaking of, Ben, do you have any opinions on how women should groom themselves?
I have strong opinions on that. I also don't think Ukraine deserves to be a sovereign nation. And that's just my personal opinion that I have not been compensated to express.
No, shut it down.
In the hallway outside, Scotty's explaining, like, oh yeah, we all got kicked out of engineering by that guy, and he has, like, rewired everything, so we can't even, like, override the door controls.
How did that happen?
That seems like a huge design flaw on these starships.
Both the throwing out of Scotty and the locking of the door, like, the sort of lock that only has the button on the inside and no way to, like, stick a little pin in on the other.
Yeah. Like, basically what's happened is a 2-year-old has locked themselves in the bathroom and they're going to have to, like, take the door off its hinges to get in there.
Yeah.
And this is going to involve, like, cutting through the wall to get into engineering. And up on the bridge, they're like, well, we should, like, set alert condition Baker 2 for sure. But they can't even do that because Riley has all the alert channels cut off.
They're all broadcasting the same podcast. It's fucking awful.
The bangers start to get really bad.
Yeah.
This is not making it any easier for Scotty to cut through the wall. It's not making it any easier for Bones to do his examination of the incapacitated Sulu. And so, like, you know, he's complaining that, like, I am trying to fucking figure out what is happening to everybody. Kirk is like begging Bones to give him something, anything that will turn Riley off, basically. And Bones is like, I can't get any work done because of all the fucking bangers.
This irritation with the podcast and between the crew people, I found really affecting. And how quick they are to forgive, too. Like that moment between Kirk and Uhura where they kind of snap at each other. I really like that moment because they were like, yeah, I'm feeling it too, dude. Like, this sucks.
Yeah, we're both really stressed out. Like, that wasn't me being my best self. Sorry about that.
Right.
We got some fun shots of Scotty in a Jeffries tube putting magnets on shit. And that at least gets them helm power, which buys them a little bit of time. But we still only have 16 minutes left. And Uhura is describing chaos erupting elsewhere on the ship. Like, this is not isolated to Riley at this point. Like, this pathogen is ripping through the crew now. And we see an example of this. Like, Spock walks down to check on Scotty, and there's just like a dude laughing his ass off for no reason in the corridor. I mean, like that's the kind of drunk you want, right? Like, funny, laughy, silly drunk,
Yep.
That's a good hang.
Not one that's making Yeoman Rand uncomfortable.
No, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
All this power, surging and throbbing.
Am I behaving incorrect?
No.
Spock explains to Scotty, like, hey man, I know you're trying to be really careful cutting through this bulkhead because there's like probably explodey shit behind it, but we don't have time for you to be careful. We need you to proceed with all deliberate speed and get the fuck through it because we've got 14 minutes left. We cut over to 6 Bay where Bones is trying to get a report from the biopsy lab about, I guess, some tissue sample that he must have sent to them. Guy that works in the biopsy lab, his name is Harrison.
What?
So there's a future for my people on board these starships, Adam. Not a glamorous one. It's just, but lab work is important work. You can't have a 6 Bay without a biopsy lab.
We never cut over to this Harrison and what their affliction is once infected, right?
No. There was somebody credited, a guy named Ron Vito is credited as Harrison.
How about that?
Harrison, where's my report?
All right, so Bones has to go to talk to Mr. Harrison in person because the internal comms aren't working, and leaves the now very sweaty Nurse Chapel to scan a Sulu who's waking up. And on the bridge, Kirk has to put Yeoman Rand on the helm because yet another helmsman has gotten too fucked up to operate it.
Nurse Chapel has a moment with Spock where there's some more face touching.
Yeah, she's gotten all horned up as her result of exposure, which it's another kind of drunk I don't mind. Like the lovey drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Is what she is.
Great. Big fan.
She gets him virused by touching his face, and it seems to affect him much more rapidly than it did everybody else.
Sure does. He goes from normal Spock to crying at work Spock.
Yeah. And they don't have that, next to the lactation suite, the weeping suite.
Have we come to that point in corporate culture where there is a cry room?
I mean, there is at Uxbridge Shimoda corporate headquarters, but I don't think it's industry standard yet.
No.
But yeah, like Spock is acting real weird. He's like crying at work. He's not answering Uhura's messages on the 1MC. He's like fully emotional. It's like it's fucking wild to see.
Pretty great work by Leonard Nimoy here. Like, it feels weird to say those words,
Yeah.
Because this is so early in Star Trek and in the character's life.
I was thinking about that. Like, we don't know much about him yet. Like, we don't really know much about, like, what Vulcans are about.
Yeah. And so a moment like this probably doesn't hit super duper hard because, what do you know? Not much.
To the writer's credit, it works super well in retrospect. Like on the rewatch, it's really good.
Yeah.
So Kirk and Scotty and some security guys get into engineering finally, and they get engine control back. That seems good.
You want to know what's bad? They get control back, but those engines are off. and cold. And how many minutes did we say we had?
It's down to 8, and they need 30 to turn them back on. And
that doesn't add up. Not at all.
This is not a miracle that Scotty can work. So Kirk has this idea that there's a way to like jumpstart the engines with a controlled implosion. And Scotty's going like, no, that's just a theory. Like nobody's ever actually done that. And we will fucking blow ourselves sky high. Because the calculations are too complicated. But who do we know on the ship that can do the fuck out of some complicated calculations on the fly?
Cut over to a crying Vulcan in the conference room. They're going to give Spock something to cry about here in a second if he can't snap out of it and do these computations.
Like a lot of the tension in the rest of this episode is not knowing where Spock is because he won't pick up the phone because he's too sad that Nurse Chapel put the moves on him, which also like in the context of their relationship in Strange New Worlds is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
The way they wrote that relationship writes toward this moment in a cool way.
Great call. Yeah, this feels like of all the TOS episodes, this seems like the one that is the most illuminating or related to what's going on in Strange New Worlds. And I did not expect that.
Sulu wakes up in sickbay screaming and has no memory of any of the stuff that happened. He was like blackout the entire time.
You can't blame me for shit. I don't remember any of it. I was blackout drunk.
Bones has figured out the disease. He's figured out probably largely because of the work of Mr. Harrison in the biopsy lab. Like, I don't believe Bones is a capable enough medical practitioner to have done this himself based on what we have seen on screen so far.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give this W to Harrison, probably.
Have to.
But the water on that planet works like alcohol, and it's made everybody's water work like alcohol. And so we got to get some serum made, but even the serum guy is fucking hammered. So that's going to be something that Bones has to do personally. And Kirk has finally found Spock, and he's trying to talk about like his shame of being part human and the like indignity of that when he's like a crying Vulcan and grew up in a place where expressing your emotions is considered untoward. And Kirk is like slapping him. They're kind of slapping each other back and forth a little bit here, but like we're going to need to hot start the engine, and I really need you to like get your shit together for a moment to do that because we have 3.5 minutes left.
The slap fight is so illuminating to me because like the ratio of slaps, very uneven in Kirk's favor. So many slaps does Kirk distribute here. Spock seems to have some restraint knowing his strength here. I think he doles out one slap that throws Kirk over a table. He's with it enough at least to just do the one.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to limit the amount of violence I'm meting out here to the little bit of blood in the corner of the mouth amount of violence.
Yeah.
Which was like a real 60s thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
You don't see this little mouth corner blood thing very much anymore, but really had a moment.
They saved the good blood for Kirk, though, and not that lieutenant from before.
It's true. Yeah, Kirk's blood looks a lot more human. He's also got the disease from the slap fight, so he starts to lose it and get all horny for his ship in a way that is very funny. Like the horniest we've seen Kirk by far is the way he talks about the Enterprise and the way he gives and gives and it takes and takes.
She won't permit me my life. I've got to live hers.
Pretty endearing moment, I thought. Like his form of intoxication.
Yeah. Spock and Scotty go to engineering, and Kirk gets on the elevator and sees the phrase "Sinner repent" painted on the door. And we saw the guy going around with the paintbrush painting shit on the walls. I could not imagine what the significance of "Sinner repent" was meant to be in this moment.
Yeah, it didn't strike me as that much of a proselytizer of any kind.
Yeah.
When we encountered him before.
Strange moment.
Yeah.
it kind of, I was like, is this like something that was a thing in the is this a Kilroy was here kind of a thing that I'm just like not getting?
Oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, anyways, he gets on the bridge. He gets inoculated. Like Bones just like rips the shoulder of his shirt and hypo sprays him. And they get the intermix just right. They fire the engines. The ship starts whirring very intensely. And they go to warp. They're out of here, baby. And they're going so fucking fast. This shocked me that this was not like the moment of relief. It was like, no, we're actually going faster than it is considered possible to go. And the space clock is running in reverse now.
Time travel.
I love the choice of this is not any sort of crazy time travel effect, any sort of color that you see on the view screen.
Nobody seems to be dipped in milk at any point.
No. Instead, it's just a series of numbers going backwards.
And like, they're not acting that quickly. They're like, oh shit, look at that clock. Huh. Well, turn off the engine and reverse power. And then the clock goes the right direction again. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And we learned that they've regressed 71 hours. So they've undone all of the time that they spent in the naked time. And I guess like the implication is that this is the discovery of time travel. Like, oh, cool. Like we know how to time travel now. And if we ever want to do that again, we can do it.
This does open some intriguing prospects, Captain.
I love planting this seed in the show. That's big fun.
We'll have to revisit that later. Anyways, good job, team. And that's the episode.
Did you like this episode, Ben?
Captain James T. Kirk of the
I don't believe in the no scenario.
I did like this episode. I feel like The Naked Now could not be more important to us as podcasters, as it is the episode that introduces the indelible character of Jim Shimoda.
Yeah.
And boy, it is really hard to look at this as anything but like the original Home Alone to that episode's Home Alone Lost in New York. Like, holy shit, it is paint by numbers the exact same fucking plot as this.
Didn't it make you think about, like, one of the complaints in Star Trek media is, like, how Strange New Worlds is recycling plot lines and too self-referential about stuff that happened in TOS. And, like, how quickly we forgot that was kind of what TNG did early on with stories like this. Were people as pissed off at the time about Naked Now for that reason?
I don't know. I mean, I think that people were pissed off at the time about TNG in the way that they are about, you know, they were not my Star Trekking just as much then.
In many ways, it's superior, but will never be as recognized as the original.
I think that what's interesting about it is like seeing different characters with the same dilemma is interesting.
Yeah.
I think it is fun that the Doctor and the Captain almost fuck in The Naked Now versus The Naked Time. They don't almost fuck.
Nope.
Like, I would say that the Captain gets like sort of horny about Yeoman Rand, but she doesn't get horny about him. She seems like totally unaffected by the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting episode. A lot of fun. I'm really glad we got to watch this one. You have any closing thoughts you want to share?
Yeah, it's a really bad look to not go to Planet Psi 2000 and leave any kind of warning bois or something. I feel like 3 days is a long time to just let this this danger be out there for any ship to run into and potentially restart this same process.
Do they have the records of their... Can they get like a whole second set of scans from like a slightly different angle?
Great question.
On the implosion?
I don't know.
Seems awesome.
I thought just ditching and going in the opposite direction, I didn't love that as a thing to do before the credits. But if we have watched all of TV and movies and then we went back and like read the Iliad to see why stories are the way they are, like, that's what this kind of felt like to me. Like, this is foundational.
Yeah.
foundational in a retread of a story sense, but like I don't feel like I learned much about these characters in the way that maybe the episode thought we would. Like Spock says in this episode, like this illness is surfacing a lot of like core beliefs and values and interests of people and making them their like frontmost facing personality traits. But like Sulu being a swordsman doesn't tell me anything about him. Right?
Yeah. It is notable how much Sulu's character is nothing so far.
Yeah.
In a way that, like, I feel like Geordi and Worf were really hard to get your arms around what their role was supposed to be in season 1 of TNG. Like, Geordi wasn't the chief engineer yet.
Yeah.
Worf wasn't the chief of security yet. And it was just like, so, like, they're just on the bridge sometimes. Like, that's what Sulu is right now.
True.
Mostly he's taking lunch in the botany bay and getting handies from the plants. But sometimes he does show up on the bridge.
Hey, plant, hold my sandwich. Hey, other plant, hold this hoagie. That's not a hoagie.
You want to see if there's any hoagies in the Priority 1 inbox?
Oh, yeah. Fully loaded.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Ben, you're not going to believe this. We got a promotional Priority 1 message here.
All right.
Here's how that goes. Adam and Ben, partly because I was delinquent in sending my nibble his anniversary message, and mostly because I wanted to cover the lack of inflation on P1s, here is an extra $100.
Okay.
So this sounds like it's a personal Priority 1 message being given a little bit extra to make it a commercial.
Oh, zhuzh.
Nibble, another wonderful year living our gay poly life. My favorite moment this year was when you sent the following text message to the hosts of a Christmas party we were going to. And here's that text, okay? In addition to my husband and his boyfriend, my boyfriend and his boyfriend may be looking for a pregame. Can I invite them as my +2?
Oh, okay. So I'm doing some math here. It seems like some boyfriends might be the same person. Is that what you're picking up?
I was always bad at math and fractions especially.
Okay.
I'm willing to go along with that.
Yeah. I love this. What do you call that? Coffee table poly. If you're going to a holiday party together.
I just want to say this, and we've been a fan of Nibble and their partner for many years.
Yes.
If this is like a holiday party where there's like a certain number of seats at a dinner table, do not agree with this. Like the late, hey, can I bring?
Yeah, sure.
Action to this. So I just want to carve that out. Like speaking for the hosts of parties, I want to keep them safe and happy.
But if it's like there's an urn of mulled wine bubbling away, and there's a coffee table,
mixed pills and mulled wine, yeah, I'm with you on that.
You know, like there's some fun mistletoe where you can. Oh, look at me! I'm making out with my husband's boyfriend under the mistletoe. Silly us.
Here's the call to action. Happy anniversary. Let we have many more Priority 1 messages in our future.
Let we all indeed. Adam, this P1 is of a personal nature. It's from Mark, and it's to Ben and Adam. It goes like this. Inspired by the prodigious Nuck displayed in the Charlie X episode, I wanted to pitch you on some merch to have ready for next summer. The Pranica Cabanica Bananica Hammoca. The idea is all yours, gentlemen. I don't need a cut of the profits. You could just thank me when the checks start rolling in.
Mark, can I tag that a little bit? Like maybe it's not just an article of clothing we're selling. Maybe it's a musical instrument. So what I'm going to propose is the Pranica Cabanica Bananica Hammoca Harmonica. What do you think?
Uh-huh.
Because who on a pool deck doesn't want to hear some honking?
Yeah.
Bobo.
Maybe if all of the FODs show up and, have practiced their various roles, we could have a Pranica, Cabanica, Bananica, Hammoca, Harmonica, Symphonica.
Yeah. I would just personally love to hear any of the Star Trek themes played on Symphony of Harmonicas. It'd be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be good. Thanks for the tip, Mark. That should benefit us tremendously.
Yeah, really will. Well, benefiting us tremendously is the support we receive from Priority One Messages. You can do your own by going to MaximumFun.org/Jumbotron today.
Thank you.
Hey, Ben.
What's that, Adam?
Should we rename this segment something other than Drunk Shimoda?
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Tormolen is right there.
Kevin Riley has the number of syllables.
Uh-huh.
Tormolen does not.
Edward Larkin does.
And yet, I don't know, Shimoda the gold standard. Did you find yourself one of those, Ben?
Incredible.
Drunk Shimoda! I think I'll give it to walking around the ship with a paintbrush guy. Like, I think that is a kind of drunk, like vandalism drunk is a kind of drunk. I have an old friend who in high school was totally a vandalism drunk, and I didn't drink in high school, but like there's a memory of like him being very drunk and us like walking home from a house party with him and like spending like 20 minutes on a sidewalk trying to convince him not to drop a cinder block through the back window of a parked car.
Oh, buddy.
It just seemed like a good idea to him at the time, and he's thanked us many times since, but I feel like whatever that guy was doing before he contracted the space madness, he had a little cup of red paint and a paintbrush, and he went around vandalizing.
Yeah, I'm going to make him mine too, but for a totally different reason. If you're drunk guy with a paintbrush, you're kind of like acoustic guitar guy at the campfire. Like, you got drunk and you're thinking you're creative and you just got to get it out. You got to write your poetry, your inscrutable poetry on whatever surface you can find. And that feels like that's this guy's sensibility.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a genius and I got to get this out.
The women here can't be deprived of this.
Want to sit here and watch me do it while I stare uncomfortably into your eyes for 4.5 minutes?
Surprised you didn't choose Harrison.
I know. I feel like we're going to see him, though.
Yeah.
He has multiple credits on Star Trek. He's on 15 episodes. He was in Charlie X, apparently.
How about that?
We'll see him again.
Sure will. What we got to see right now is a warning boy, Ben.
Yeah, we sure do.
Someone got the word out about our show. We need to highlight that.
Express our appreciation for that.
Prepare a buoy and launch it when ready.
Warning buoys.
An emergency buoy.
A warning buoy.
Ben, I got a Reddit thread here that is going to constitute our warning boa. Reddit, one of the great places on the internet.
You sure about that?
Full of positivity and joy.
You sure about that?
The greatest gen Reddit being chief among them. Someone started a thread over there with the headline, Wynde as the third host.
Mm-hmm.
And what this turned into was at this moment in time, 30 comment, 100 upvote thread talking about how great Wynde is as an editor and producer of our show.
Fuck yeah.
And the idea of her as sort of the ghostly third host. You and me, some would argue, the hosts of the show primarily, while Wynde is like the fifth Beatle.
Totally.
Making us funnier, carving out the snot sounds and the jokes that don't work in order to create a thing that is just the special podcast that it's become. And I agree with almost all of this on this Reddit thread.
Mm-hmm.
It's really something to see. Check it out if you go to r/greatestgen and participate in what is really a great big love fest for our great producer, Wynde.
Yeah. Rob Adler gets some big ups in there as well, if I'm not mistaken. Well deserved.
Oh, yeah.
And we're looking forward to that guy being back from family leave next week as we record this. And
can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get him back in the mix in our production meetings and stuff. But yeah, Wynde, you fucking rule. Every compliment in that is well deserved, and we're very lucky to have the friends of DeSoto who make those warning buoys and recommend the show all over the internet. If you'd like to hear your words coming out of our mouths. Leave a nice review on your podcasting app of choice, or post about the show on social media, and we might find it. We might talk about it.
God, what if we did? Test us.
Just imagine.
See if we won't read it. I dare you.
Go out there on fucking Instagram, talk about the show being good.
Yeah. See what we do with that.
Okay, with that, we are going to throw the keys of the pod car into the capable hands of our buddy Rob Adler, who is doing the edit on this one this week. Thank you so much, Rob. Take it away. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Rob.
Greatest Trek is an Uxbridge Shimoda podcast on the Maximum Fun Network. It's hosted by Ben Harrison and Adam Pranica, and is produced by Wynde Priddy. And this episode was edited by Rob Adler. Next week, Ben and Adam will be back with a brand new review of Star Trek, the original series. The episode is called The Enemy Within, where a transporter malfunction creates an evil Kirk. As always, we want to thank the members who are contributing monthly to help keep this show going. Setting up a membership is easy to do at MaximumFun.org/join. Thanks to Adam Ragusia for composing the theme and interstitial music, and thanks to Bill Tilley, who I co-run the @GreatestTrek social media pages with. You can find and follow those accounts online, and be sure to use #GreatestTrek when you post about the show. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week on Greatest Trek.
Where's Joe?
Tormollen. Joe. Tormollen. Joe. Tormollen.
What's within?
He's confused, self-tortured.
Hey, Joey.
Doesn't sound like the man I know. Tormollen.
You're fine, Joe. Up and out of there.
Tormollen.
Tell him, Joey. Explain to him.
Frozen there like he didn't care. Like they didn't care. They didn't care. Like they didn't care.
Tormollen.
He didn't care.
I keep wondering.
Tormollen.
Right.
Tormollen.
Right.
Tormollen.
Right.
Tormollen.
Yes.
Not Joe's kind. That kind of man doesn't give up.
Just remember all caps when you spell the man name.
Tormollen. 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 Tormollen.
You know what Joe's mistake was? He wasn't born an Irishman.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported directly by you.